I have both the Hobie Outback and the Hobie Island Adventure. They're both really good kayaks, but for this season, I wanted something a little bit smaller and lighter. That's still pretty fast. So years ago, I had a Hobie Revolution 13. I really liked that. So I went on Craigslist and I found a Hobie Revolution 13, a 2014 model, for a pretty reasonable price. First upgrade is I'm gonna upgrade the rudder to the sailing rudder. This will provide for better tracking, and it'll also make returns really sharp. The second is, since it's a 2014 model, it doesn't have the CT Advantage seat, so I'm gonna put some extra padding on it. So the third part is I'm gonna replace the drainage plug with a one-way valve, so that way when water comes in from the top, it will automatically drain, and it will prevent from water getting in from the bottom. So upgrading the rudder is pretty simple. All you need is a Phillips screwdriver. Simply remove the 6 screws and then pop the nuts off the old rudder and put them onto the new rudder. Then simply put the rudder back on and put the screws back on. So the next upgrade is going to put some extra padding onto the seat. Since this is a 2014 model, it doesn't have the CT Advantage seat. So the padding is really going to help out. Now you can buy padding for around 40 or 50 bucks, but you can just go to your local hardware store and get an anti-fatigue mat and just cut it out. It'll cost you around $5. And there are a couple ways to do this. You can just use the old seat and trace a seat around it. But I personally want the padding to be a little bit smaller than the actual seat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a cardboard and trace the size I want. Then take it and put it onto the mat and then trace the size. So the last upgrade is to replace the drainage plug underneath the seat with a one-way valve. Now this is a great upgrade for anybody who has a 2014 or older Hobie kayak. Because what it does is it prevents water from getting in from underneath, and if water comes in from the top, as you're moving, it slowly siphons all the water out. So you don't have to keep opening or closing the drainage plug. So they don't really sell the one-way valve, but if you go to your local hardware store, you can find a hand pump plastic siphoning that has 2 valves that will fit perfectly into your Hobie kayak. There are 2 one-way valves in the siphon, one on top and one on the side. Now using your knife, carefully remove those valves. Next, unscrew your drainage plug and pop it out. Then flip the kayak over and clean up the drainage hole. Then put some silicone glue into the hole. Now before installing the one-way valve, make sure the valve opening is facing backward, so the water will siphon out when you're moving forward.